Bless Unleashed PC version. Third time's a charm? Well, things are looking a little bit more promising. Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. I'm Kroof. I'm so happy to see you. I have had a history of Bless, of being rather interested in the franchise. I even tried it back in 2018 when it came to the West. Rest in peace. And I've kept an eye on it ever since Blessed Unleashed was announced, showcased, and eventually released onto consoles. And then recently, they have been working on a PC port of the game where people can play Blessed Unleashed on Steam. So that's what today is. Today, I'm going to be going over the recent news updates for Blessed Unleashed PC version, and there are quite a few interesting details in the developers' posts about sectors of the game that are actually very important. So, without further ado, let's begin. The very first news article I want to touch on is, in fact, the first news article that announced these recent changes that the developers are working hard on for the PC version of the game. So, the article title is Big Changes to Come, Bless Unleashed Awakened. They start by saying, this is Coven Park, the PD of Bless Unleashed. Through the previous closed beta tests, we were able to analyze all user feedback and responses. Thankfully, we were able to discover how to further improve the game through these feedbacks and establish bigger goals to create an even better gaming experience. So it does seem like they are taking into account the feedback, what people are saying, and they've been working on it in the background, and then this is the introduction of the things that they've been working on. So first they announced that the final closed beta test will be in May, and you can just gain access to that by going to the Steam account and then signing up. And then in some time you will receive a beta key, download, etc., follow the steps. But the next article, or the next section in this article, is Bless Unleashed's revolutionary change. Big words, big statements. As mentioned previously, we will present more seamless and diverse content, including the transformation of Bless Unleashed's combat system and a better optimized PC environment. Now, these 2 points were probably the most talked about in terms of video game journalism critique that I was aware of when I would watch videos on Bless Unleashed's PC closed beta tests. More so open beta, closed beta, tomato. They're beta tests. So I was very excited to hear the words combat changes, at least. But we'll get into the specifics of the combat changes in their next article. But they continue with a basic overview. They want to be increasing skill and class personality to maximize combat enjoyment. The next big change is providing UI/UX optimized for the PC platform, enhancing the convenience of in-game communication between global users. Better optimization for keyboard and mouse. This game was originally intended for consoles and the game controller, so they've had to readdress a couple things. Finally, their general point is to make existing content more fun, comfortable, and challenging while delivering new additional content. Love dungeons, raids, world bosses, public events. Would love to see more of this, but they kind of hint at appearance of more enhanced unique bosses, supplementation of quest production and contents to increase game immersion. I think having the flexibility of different content systems like open world events, bosses, or a couple collectible things that give you experience, or exploration that gives you experience. I'm down for all of those. Strength and convenience of dungeons, great. Additional content from new experiences. Don't know what that means, but it sounds interesting. So that was March. That was a while back from March. So we get to the actual very first main post, and this is Bless Unleashed's Awakened, or Bless Unleashed Awakened, number 1, combat. Combat is vital to any game. It's called a game. You're supposed to be doing something in a game. As minimal or complicated as it might be, do it well. Tetris or checkers, It's very minimal, but it works really well. Games like Overwatch, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Terra, Guild Wars 2, complicated combat systems, intricacies within the gameplay itself that make it very interesting, fun, and has a lot of depth to it. So what have they changed or are working on and addressing in this post? They start by saying, today, I'm going to get my announcer voice on. Today, we will be introducing the first update topic in regards to combat. This update will talk about a wide range of changes that will take place from the overall system to the small details. So definitely going from, a larger perspective to a smaller perspective. It's always great to hear about large sweeping changes in games, especially a game in a closed beta test, to really show that they are listening and are willing to do broad strokes rather than fine tuning, say like a cooldown number or a damage number. Really love that. They start this article with the fundamental changes to the combat system. They say the Round 8 studio development team is currently preparing for updates that will change the fundamentals of the combat system and aims to provide a completely different combat experience. Key elements of this combat update focus on deep strategic skills and enhanced combos, and speedy character growth with a fast combat flow. Fast combat flow, keep that in mind. On the console, its early iterations and, even Bless Unleashed on the PC, one of the talking points was that the combat, while it felt very impactful, and while there is a place for slowed down animations and a more strategic slowed pace of combat, it felt a little too stilted, a little too unresponsive, and perhaps just a little too slow in its larger areas. Next, they say, we're going to go into a list. Number 1, changes in the blessings and skill system. Now, did not really care about changes to the blessing or skill system. That wasn't necessarily on my mind. I was more so worried about the actual flow of combat. However, after reading this, I'm very much excited. They say the current skill system is designed in such a way so that the fixed skill changes as users equip blessings. So with different blessings equipped, your skill loadout will change. The purpose was to allow users to choose blessings according to the situation by giving each blessing a different personality, which in theory is kind of cool. However, this means that the skill selection after selecting the blessing is limited. Therefore, the degree of freedom of skill selection is restricted. These factors have been identified through a number of feedback and internal reviews. To discuss improvements in this aspect were conducted. As a result, skills can be acquired through character level regardless of blessings, and without the skills being dependent on blessings themselves. The blessings can naturally be selected and used according to user preference, which I love. Now, when I read this, I went back and I kind of reflected and I was like, oh yes, of course. The skill system itself within Bless was very restricted. You had 4 skills that you kind of change up with blessings. Upon reflection, that does stilt a lot of build creativity and the way people want to play. Because now you don't have the freedom to mix and match certain spells or abilities. You have to stick with one thing. They go into an example where you still get skills as you level, but acquiring a blessing will enhance particular skills. That is really interesting to hear about. I would love to see more on how that actually works, to see to what extent can you enhance and alter these abilities. Next, they continue with their second point, strengthen class personality by improving skill usability. The Round 8 development team is currently reviewing ways to enhance the usability of all skills. We believe users will be able to see the individuality and combat capabilities of each class as skill system improvements are applied. Love to hear that. Once again, more great news in terms of hearing it. We still have yet to see how it actually will play out in game. But the fact that they are at least talking about what's going on behind the scenes is more hopeful than not. Onto the main skill updates are as follows: improved usability of all skills, improved performance for less popular skills, addition of new skills to enhance class personality, and combination or deletion of skills with similar concepts. Next, for the third point, they have changes in skill and combo usability to improve combat flow. Now, this is the major article, or the major section of this article that is the most wide-ranged improvements on the general combat feel. They say, while expanding upon the current combat method, an update is in progress to increase the usability of combos, skills, and dodge, the three crucial elements of combat. First, the most representative change users can feel is that the combo phase will not break, even if users dodge while using the combo. This is wonderful! Bless! No pun intended, but pun intended. This change will be applied equally to specific skills. Even when using skills to help combat, such as the Ranger's Reload or Crusader's Warcry, the combo phase will not be initialized and will be changed to avoid interfering with the combat flow. I like that. One major thing was people were talking about when you're in a combat, if someone gets up close to you and interrupts you or something, or you have to dodge out of the way, especially if you're a squishy ranged character. If you needed to get out of the way, but you wanted to continue your combo because you were just almost there to use a good skill, it felt not rewarding. It didn't feel great. You might be completing a mechanic, but you have to restart from zero. You have to restart your combo chain all the way from ground one. The general feel of combat seems that it's going to be increase in fluidity and speed and less restrictive in completing a combo and in skill choice, which broad strokes, sounds wonderful. Next up, we have to discuss the UI and the UX enhancements to the PC version of Bless Unleashed. They start by stating, the Round 8 development team is working extremely hard to provide various conveniences in terms of Bless Unleashed's PC gameplay environment. This is a result of the difference between a console and a PC platform. Of course. The first change, or the first topic that they wanted to discuss, is operational improvements. Since Bless Unleashed PC is built on the basis of a console service, many components are geared towards operating using a gamepad. Though, through several development discussions and tests, we realized that a simple conversion was not enough to provide sufficient operational convenience, and are currently improving many aspects so users who enjoy games using the keyboard and mouse can enjoy the game in a more comfortable manner. All that sounds great, but then we get a screenshot of someone being able to use a mouse. Someone using a mouse cursor, which I don't think was able to be done. In this update, improvements have been made so that users can easily switch windows with a simple mouse click. Love that. Love that. Would like to see a unique cursor icon, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'll take the normal standard white mouse cursor if push comes to shove. Additionally, they say the hold operation was used to prevent mistakes. They seem to have gotten rid of that, and so you can just kind of click and purchase things, purchase in quantity, etc., to just smooth those downtimes in games. And then they start again with some more UI improvements. This upcoming Bless Unleashed PC update is not just a mere improvement to better fit the PC platform. In order to make the game more convenient, we are conducting various improvement changes that haven't been made before in the live service. A representative change is that the number of quests that can be simultaneously shown in the quest list on the right side of the screen will be increased. This was one of the main feedback given by users, so we expect it to be a huge boost to the convenience of gameplay. Love this. They also talk about a semi-transparent map function while you're navigating throughout the world, and improvements to icons and such. And then finally, they have more communication things with little cute emojis that you can use in the real world, or in the world of Bless, so you can communicate a little bit faster, I guess. All of this is really nice and convenient. I do like this. So I think overall, these Bless updates are really interesting. They've definitely stoked a fire in my little MMO heart that makes me more willing to try Bless Unleashed PC version. I don't know how it will ultimately feel, but I'm definitely more interested in giving it a shot and covering the final beta test. So overall, I would say the combat is looking really fancy. It's looking really good. Good signaling, good things are being said. We have yet to see how they all work out and how it functions. But if the combat is being sped up, the animations and the overall gameplay experience of fighting is being sped up and smoothed out and ironed out just a little bit where they can, I think that would overall make Bless Unleashed PC a much more worthwhile gaming experience for an MMORPG. The UI updates are also really great because this is a PC game, though, you know, it's a PC game, so I think those should have been thought of first and kind of there already. So, I mean, they're great changes, but it's kind of the bare necessities to a PC game. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing the closed beta. I'm going to be seeing how I actually enjoy it and how this final closed beta presents Bless Unleashed PC. And maybe there'll be a couple more videos on this game around that time. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below your thoughts on Bless Unleashed as a whole. Now, be advised, Bless Unleashed definitely is not Bless Online from 2018. So I don't want to see any of those comments. I want to see any of those comments. This is a different game. So, yeah. But comment what you think as a whole, I guess. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below, subscribe, share, all that stuff. If you want to become a patron and help support me, you guys can get special things. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.